Well, I had a previous boss when I was working in practice who gave me the phrase, "the law is a jealous mistress," and I think that's a really great phrase, and I've kept that in mind because it's very evocative of the fact that the profession can be so demanding of your time. So I think it's really important to not view the rest of life as just thieving from your working life, and to just try and think that it's really legitimate to do lots of other things, to socialise and recreational activities and sport as well. When I started practice it was really hot in the middle of summer, and the idea of swimming at the end of the day really got me through those really stressful days, and then just going to the pool after work and really physically and sort of emotionally cooling down was really useful. And walking was the other thing that I found really useful. That physical kind of act of pounding the stresses out at the end of the day was a really good way to wind down and help make sure that sleep was still possible even when you're stressed out during the day.
Different things work for different people, but I think it's very important to have a quiet time every day. 5 or 10 minutes when you shut the door, sit back, don't think about your work, but just have a quiet time where you let your mind rest easy. And I've found that very helpful.
I handle it in two ways. The first way is I play a lot of sport. I really enjoy team sports and just letting that stress out in that sort of environment. A lot of people in the system don't want to be there. It's not something people do for fun, so you have to recognise that those are the issues that people are dealing with, and it's not an issue with you if people are stressed in the way that they're interacting with you.
Speak up about your vulnerabilities, I think, because when you're stressed in law, it's very unlikely that the problem is yours individually. It's something about the profession. And most lawyers, I worked in criminal law only, so I'm not sure how representative they were, but lawyers love their war stories. So if you talk about being stressed and having trouble with clients, senior people love chiming in about the stress they've been under and the problems they've had with clients as well. I remember when I first started, I had a really bad day in court, and I went back to the office and said to my boss, I just humiliated myself in court, and he looked at me with amazement and said, "But that's what we do, this whole job's about humiliation, didn't you know that?" And I said, "No, I didn't know, I thought it was a learning experience and it would go away." And he said, No, that's what we do, it's all about humiliation." And it was very, very reassuring to think that this was not something unusual I was experiencing. The nature of the job meant that you were really put in awkward situations all the time, and everyone was doing it all day, every day, and to just kind of get used to it really helped me through.
Well, for anyone who's going into litigation as a solicitor or as a barrister, my tip would be remember that you're involved in the administration of justice. There's an element of tactics and competition in litigation, but at the end of the day, it's all about justice.
I think it's really vital that you have somebody you can trust to run your ideas off, somebody who's in the profession and who's more experienced than yourself. Often that's available within your workplace. There might be a mentoring system, but if you're just starting out and you don't have that available to you, there are initiatives. The Law Society has a panel, and the Young Lawyers Committee has a specific panel of people that young practitioners can ask questions of, which might be in terms of career advice, or it might be in relation to a concern you have in a particular matter that you're working on. It's really important to have that, and ideally somebody that you can contact frequently if you have an issue, or just questions, just so that you have that security that you've addressed all the issues you need to.